What is going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. I know this one is a little late. I was feeling a little bit under the weather, nothing to be worried about, feeling much better now. But in today's video, we are gonna discuss a topic that a lot of you guys have asked, especially after seeing, sorry about that. Especially after seeing some of the most recent videos on the scholarships. You guys are applying to colleges, maybe you're thinking of applying sometime, whichever spot you may be in. It's something that's really important, and I've emphasized this a lot on the channel, is going beyond and looking over your grades and looking at how you can make that application wholesome. So what is required? One of the main things, apart from the essays and everything, are extracurricular activities. In this video, we are gonna go over extracurricular activities, honors and achievements, what kind you should have, when you should start prepping for them, what kind of activities are good for the degree that you want to do. So let's get started. Alright, so first things first, there's no snap of a finger magic formula for extracurricular activities. I'm not going to give you some calculated preconceived notion that this is exactly what you need to do and this is going to guarantee you admission. No. And honestly, if someone tells you something like this, it's just a load of crap. There is nobody who can guarantee you admission in any university because they don't know you, they don't know your background, and honestly, frankly, they don't know who's going to be reviewing your application. So the best that you can do is put your best foot forward. There's no manual to this. You have to make it up for what suits you best. So the first thing that you need to consider while thinking about extracurricular activities is, what kind of degree do you want to pursue? Do you want to go into business, science, commerce, fashion designing? Do you want to learn about music, art? What is it that you want to do? That's the biggest aspect of this. Now, once you've decided that, there's an equal split between doing some extracurricular activities related to that field, that broad field, doing a good amount of activities that's not related to that, because the admissions committee needs to know what you are as a person outside that studious educational you. Come on, don't tell me that you don't like to do anything outside studying. No, even I'm not like that. When I was in school, something that I was super interested in was sports. I used to play basketball. I know, just don't, I know. I'm not very tall, but I did enjoy playing sports a lot. I used to play football, basketball, table tennis, swimming, literally anything, any outdoor sport I would love to get my hands on. So that was something that I enjoyed doing. And there has to be something that you just enjoy doing as, a hobby. That whole thing is considered as an extracurricular activity. You don't have to have a certificate for it. You don't have to have some sort of confirmation that this is what you did. You just need to have an interest of doing it. Alright, so now let's come to the other side of the things, that is talking about extracurricular activities that are slightly related to the field that you're interested in. So I'm going to speak a little bit about grades and GPA over here, because I know that a lot of you guys are going to just come up and say okay, Saloni, so what kind of grades are going to help me get to that level, right? You don't have to be a brilliant student. It helps if you are, but having that 95, 99, 100 score doesn't guarantee you a spot in a good university. Let's take me for example. In my 10th grade, I had a 90% in the ICSE board. In my 12th grade, I had an 80% in the ISC board. I was a science and math student. I feel like my grades were above average, nothing too fancy, and I still got to study in 2 Ivy League universities just because I had a very wholesome background. So even if you have average grades, it's possible to compensate for that by having a good set of overall activities, showing them the person that you are. Because they understand that people grow, people make mistakes, so you can't judge someone for something that they did years ago and just hold it against them. Colleges understand that. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk about your passion, what interests you, and how you should take that forward. So the most important thing here is doing something called a passion project. Take any broad field that you're even remotely considering studying. For me, when I was in grade 10, grade 12, I knew that I wanted to do something with biology, engineering. Coming from an Indian background, engineering is pretty much standard, but I really like building stuff. So I would just kind of go outside and work on these weird projects. when I was starting out, just randomly find these internships. Basically, just shadow people, find people who would let me learn what they do. You wouldn't believe it, but when I lived in India, I interned at Apollo Hospital. Apollo Hospital is a huge hospital. I know that a lot of you guys might know this. And my job as an intern for that summer was just to read the manuals and follow and shadow the biomedical engineer and watch what she does. That's about it. That's all it was. It was unpaid. I came in, I put in the hours, I just learned. That's about it. They weren't giving me anything. My argument to them was, help me learn. I'm not going to disturb you or, distract you from your work. I just want to learn. And this is how you need to approach it. If there's something that interests you, go out of your way, go to a lab, go to a place where you can find those people, those professionals actually working in action. Get to know about the job. Actually think about it. If you watch someone do this thing that you're interested in, do you see yourself doing that for almost the rest of your life or a large chunk of your life? Ask yourself that question. It's really important at this age. So all of these things are extracurriculars. It's something called a clinical preceptorship if you're working in a hospital, or just like shadowing someone is generally just a preceptorship. You are essentially just learning by following and observing what they're doing. It's a great extracurricular. Highly recommend checking it. Now, a couple other things that you can consider doing is if you're interested in something like computer science, learn how to build an app. Actually build an app, get it on the App Store, the Google Play Store. You can tutor young kids in your society. You can teach them. When I was in high school, I really liked sports, basketball. So I made this group for the summer, just teaching very little kids basketball classes. I had no authority. I'm not a coach, but I just did it because I love to play. So do something like that. Go out of your way. It doesn't have to be like sports necessarily. Do something that you like. If you feel like you really enjoy doing math or biology, or if you're good at it, definitely tutor young kids, maybe a couple grades that you're comfortable with. It's a great side hustle. It shows that you're motivated and you're stepping outside from your phone and your screens and actually doing something that interests you. It's a great skill to show on your college applications. Now I'm going to talk about something which I know that a lot of you guys are already looking into, and I've made a separate video about this, summer internships and how you can apply. So I'm not going to go too much into the detail there. You can definitely check it out if you're interested later. But essentially, if you get a summer internship, just listing that summer internship on your college application is not going to cut it. They're not interested in you doing blah 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 at blah blah blah. No, they have zero interest in that. What they're interested in is that with this knowledge of that internship that you did at dash place, what did you take from it and how did you apply it into the real life? Let's take a very simple example. I did a summer internship at a hospital. This was maybe a year or two in my undergrad. I learned a lot of techniques, very basic techniques of pulse oximeters, a couple other medical devices, and the information that I got from that experience of the internship, I actually took that and taught the same stuff as a seminar to the first year students of my undergrad. And that's how I made use of it. I took that knowledge, extracted it, and spread it to create more awareness. And that's just one example. You can literally do anything. If you're taking an app building course or class, what did you take that knowledge and do? Did you make another app? Did you help society in some way? What did you do with it? That is the thing that's going to impress them, not you just writing, oh, I got this certificate for doing this, or I came first or second in this. No. How did that make you a better person? What did you learn? How did you take those skills and incorporate it to better society? Those are the big questions and the things that you should focus on. So let's take a very simple thing on how you should approach this entire extracurricular activities thing. Make sure you are, I already spoke about this, make sure you have a split between something that's relevant to what you want to study and something that shows what your personality is. It can be anything, but they need to blend together. There's no formula for that. Now, if you take my example, when I was an undergrad, I spent a lot of my time, close to 2 to 3 years, on working on this hand tremor project. It was so cool. Basically what I did was I made a device without any electronic components, which relied heavily on mechanical and viscous dampening, which is basically using some sort of like fluid mechanics to create a prototype device that would suppress hand tremors in, you know, older patients. And it was so cool. I just learned so much of application-based stuff, and I worked on it for like close to 2 years. It's a long time. I learned so much. I learned how to do literature surveys. I learned how to first research what's already been done and see how you can improve the design. I learned how to do these experiments to find out if my prototype was actually working, and it was such a fulfilling experience. And this project, I'm so proud of it. I'm pretty sure I have it in my home back in India still, but just like building on it and working on it, it was so fulfilling to actually apply everything that I was learning. So I highly recommend doing these like DIY projects. It's very simple. Whatever you're interested in, go to like websites like PubMed, where you can find literature, scientific backed literature, and just browse around and see what kind of research is being done. Anything you're interested in, like orthopedics, artificial implants, artificial intelligence, it can literally be anything. Another one of my projects that I worked on was at Harvard Medical School. That was all microfluidics, big research. I know I've said this a number of times, but again, like, comment down below. I'm gonna make a separate video out of it. I promise. I know I say that a lot, but I want to kind of like build up the hype. Like, come on guys, like, I'm not kidding. That like the Harvard research was just mind-blowing. And I'm gonna make a whole video dedicated to it, but come on, leave that in the comments below if you want to see that one. But essentially, I made a microchip which was capable of detecting corneal ulcer infections in mice. It was a very, very interesting study, and I got to like do a lot of the designing of the experiments as well as running them, executing them. It was so fulfilling. So the idea here is just do stuff. Go out of your books, go out of your written syllabus, and just do stuff. Extracurriculars is literally that. You just need to do stuff. Have a good split so that you can write between either or. When it comes to your college applications, a good number to have are 10 activities each. Have 10 activities that reflect your passion-based interest, and have 10 activities that reflect you as a person and what you generally like. And I think you'll be in a good spot for your college application. And think beyond that, you know, just don't do it for the sake of applications. This is something that you need to do. You know, keep in mind, is this really going to make you happy? And what you need to bring out your personality, not the personality that you think the college would like. Doing that is going to get you rejected. Getting your best self out and forward is what's going to get you accepted. So keep that in mind. All right, so I think that is pretty much it. I'm not going to drag this video on. I'm going to keep it very short and simple. That's about it for the extracurriculars. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I offer personal mentorship programs, so if you guys are interested in that, you can sign up using the link below. You'll get the details to the fees and the different types of programs. You can check them out. Basically, these programs are set up so that I guide students with their college application process, as well as just general career advice. So if you guys are interested, definitely sign up. But until then, take care. Subscribe if you haven't already. Smash that thumbs up button, and I'll see you guys in next week's video very soon. Bye.